Hey. Community Strong Fort Jackson, MS, and Dash, Nairobi, Kenya. And I've got a wonderful person here, man. This lady and I go way back. She remember me as being a fool, still knows me as a fool, and I'm going to continue to be a fool. But she is a beautiful person, putting in a lot of work in the community. And she's about to embark upon another chapter in her life. So what I want to do is make sure that I'm connected to these channels. And it always is, and I'm thankful and I'm humble. Man, they really picked up on the little shorts I did for Attorney RHONDA C. Cooper.
They like that?
Oh, man, they was on there. They sending hearts and shit, all kind of stuff. Hey, now, once again, the reflection of me is not a reflection of my guest. So you know how I do me. But anyway, let's make sure we're on here. All right, guys, hold on just I got to hurry up before they sanction me for this music that I'm playing. We got to make sure that we give credit to smooth jazz and soul, R&B, midnight instrumental grooves for relaxation at Relaxing Smooth Jazz 09. Guys, we're going to be informed. We're going to be consciously aware. We're going to be connected. We're going to communicate. We're going to engage. We're going to be educated. You know, you got to want to be educated. We're going to be empowered. Miss Cooper, Attorney Cooper. You want me to call you Miss Cooper? Or what do I get an opportunity to call you today?
What is most comfortable for you, Howard?
Man, I'm going to tell you, I've been around this lady. How many years? How many years?
The late 70s. We are about to celebrate our 45th year of high school graduation.
Look at how. I have never seen her cuss anybody out. I have never seen her get emotionally duressed. I just have never seen it. I've always seen you be kind of smooth, calm, and collective. Is that who you are?
I think so. I mean, I would like to think, what I do know to be true, the older that I get, the more sensitive I've become.
When you say sensitive in what manner?
Well, I've always cared about the people, and I think now those emotions that you just mentioned, they tend to show a little bit.
Why am I getting a chill over here?
Don't know.
Because this lady just asked me, I got a knee brace on. My classmate just asked me, how's the knee? I'm like, damn, really? Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. But go right ahead and continue on being caring and compassionate towards people.
Well, you know, the people I have served, I would have to say over the last 38 years, thousands of individuals and hundreds of families. And when they come into my office and they're sitting there and they're telling me what they need, what they desire, some are in tears because they've lost loved ones and they're not sure how to navigate the next steps. And so we sit and we talk and we map out our plan and what has to be done in order to get the property that they deserve or the children that they know will be best cared by them as the particular parent, or which family member is going to be the guardian for the parent that's terminally ill or been diagnosed with a dementia, who should serve as the guardian ad litem when the court says that one has to be appointed. And so when we get to court, and because I've spent my time and I know what's at stake for this family, the relief to which they are entitled, and if I don't get that same sincerity or concern from the bench, the older that I've gotten, I think now my emotions tend to show a little bit.
Now, I'm a little short-minded because I'm not accustomed to the playing field that you play on and play in. What consists of the bench? What define the bench for our listening and our viewing audience?
Thank you. When I say the bench, I'm talking about the judges who are sitting in an elevated position.
Elevated, meaning they're sitting what? Above
sitting a little above us.
Okay.
Yes, because we have counsel table. And then, of course, there's the witness box. Most courtrooms have court reporters so that they can record everything that's being said, so that if we request the transcript, there is a transcript of the proceedings. Each court has a deputy, a member of the particular county's sheriff's department, and then each court has its own bailiff, a person who kind of tends to the judge. So when I say the bench, I am talking about the judge.
Okay. So it sounds like everything in that particular arena is positioned towards the opposing team. Am I saying that correctly?
Well, let me start. And just to clarify, I'm speaking about the Chancery Court.
Okay.
And it is the Chancery Court of District 11, Subdistrict 2. I'm seeking that seat. District 11 is 4 counties: Yazoo, Holmes, Madison, and Leake.
Okay.
And Subdistrict 2 serves 2 counties, Madison and Leake. And that's the position or the seat that I'm seeking on November 3rd.
Okay.
And so in the Chancery Court, which is a court of equity, and by equity we mean fairness. So there's not
is there such thing as fair? I say fair is knowing there's no such thing as fair. Is there a component of fairness?
There's supposed to be.
Okay.
I mean,
you are so calm and cool and collected.
But
Go
that's
ahead.
how the court was established. Equity, what is right, what is just, and fair.
Okay.
So we have to stick with that. And so, clients leave thinking that they've lost, but we have to look at what is the subject matter that's brought before the court. So, for instance, we're talking about a minor.
Okay. And give me the
A minor being a child in Mississippi under 21.
Okay.
In other states, 18.
Okay.
You're of age of majority, but Mississippi, it's still 21.
Okay.
And so the minors that we typically deal with are not even teenagers yet. So they're tweens and younger. And so there are oftentimes when marriages dissolve, who's going to care for the children? And parents do fight about who's going to gain the custody and care of the children. Now, our laws are enacted to guide us in what is the best interest of the child.
Wow.
And so the court has certain factors that it has to consider based on a very old Supreme Court case, Albright versus Albright. So we typically say we're applying those Albright factors. And so we're putting on evidence. We're taking testimony. We're trying to meet those standards, one side for the other side for their client. And then with that testimony and the evidence that's been presented to the judge then makes the decision as to which parent will, based on these factors, be able to gain custody. And by custody, I mean the physical custody. This will be the custodial parent, where the child will reside. The court has to make that decision. It's not an easy decision to make, but we do have the factors to guide us. And so when you ask about fairness, we're hoping that the court has heard the testimony, the factual evidence, and applying the law, thus rendering a just decision based on what's in the best interest of this particular minor at this time. And so my sensitivity, the emotions that I'm now showing,
that's a sensitive environment.
It's a very sensitive environment. It can even be a hostile environment because, everybody wants to win.
Right.
And by win, walk out with the child or at least know in days
That's
to come.
amazing. The child becomes like a prize.
Unfortunately.
And we as parents lose focus of our commitment to apply ourselves to provide a safe, supportive environment regardless of where the child lands on the board.
And that's one of the things that I've been talking to the community about, because now moving from the bar, that's the attorneys.
Okay.
Moving from the bar to the bench in this campaign, I think we still have a duty to continue the education piece, just as you said. Just because the child is not residing with me, that doesn't negate my parenting duties and responsibilities.
Right.
You're still awarded visitation. And based on the relationships, the visitation can be as broad as the parents, can afford and allow. But oftentimes the parents are not friends.
Are they not friends
They're
before
not
they come to
friends.
court? When does the friendship dissolve?
The friendship often dissolves when the marriage dissolves. That's when the friendship, and probably
when the
before.
cat ain't no more good, and the thing ain't no more good, and
So the friendship may have gone out. That is why they have sought the divorce.
wow.
And so we've got children involved. We also have marital assets involved.
Okay.
And so how are we going to split those? So it's a lot that the Chancery Court has to deal with. I would like to term it as the People's Court, because it impacts every aspect of the family. If a minor is injured, personal injury, even if a minor passes through the negligence that results in a minor's death, Well, the parents or the plaintiffs are going to seek legal redress through money damages in the circuit courts. That's where, you have your large valued cases and, of course, the criminal cases. But once that case is either settled, where all parties agree to accept a particular sum, or if it even goes to trial and there's a verdict rendering some funds, that matter has to come back to the Chancery Court for approval. The Chancery Court has to even allow the parents to enter into the contract with the attorney to pursue the claim. The Chancery Court can say this settlement is inadequate. You guys get back to the table. I've had that to happen. And of course, as the plaintiff's attorney back then, I was gracious, for the chancellor to say, I don't think that's enough funds to care for this minor over the time that the care will be needed. If even in our estate matters. So now estate, this is what you have when you die. You die today and you own home, you've got funds in the bank, and your family comes to my office and says, well, Ms. Cooper, my
family that you didn't even know you had.
Well, hopefully it's somebody close to you that's going to know your business matters.
Right.
And so then if they had a will, that makes it a lot easier because now we're just going to, petition the court for what we call letters testamentary, and that will authorize the executor or executrix under the will to carry out the affairs of the decedent. If there's no will, it's a little more complicated because then we have to find out who the heirs are. If you've got your children that you may have had in your marriage, outside your marriage, but your heirs are going to be entitled to whatever property and other assets that you had at the time of your death. And it has to be split equally among that number, including the surviving spouse. But there might be someone who wants to buy the property, a house or other properties within the estate. The Chancery Court has to approve that contract to sell the property if we're trying to sell the property while the estate is still open.
This is like a web.
It's a good bit of jurisdiction.
Okay.
And so I have shared, lightly with my clients from the womb to the tomb. Because just as I've discussed, we're talking about minors.
Right.
And then, of course, the matters that have to be taken care of when a person passes.
Wow. So, Attorney Cooper, out of all of that conversation, you did that in less than 10 minutes. Out of the conversation, share with the viewers, Community Strong for Jackson MS, once again, your expertise over the past 38 years have been what type of law?
I started my career with Mr. Frank Stimley, and this was in 1988. And Mr. Stimley and my father were not only friends, but business partners. And when I met Mr. Stimley, I was 9 years old. And he said, if you ever, go to law school and become a lawyer, RHONDA, you have a job. And
because he was practicing law himself?
He was practicing law.
Is your dad a lawyer too as well?
No, my dad was an accountant by trade, but a property manager through his career.
Okay.
And I was, I wanted to be a lawyer because of my introduction to Dr. Martin Luther King when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
And by 7, I declared to my grandmother, I want to be a lawyer. And so I meet Mr. Stimley when I'm 9, and he says, if you become a lawyer or go to law school and complete it, I will give you a job. And he did that in 1988. And Mr. Stimley was a corporate attorney. He dealt with real property transactions. One of the smartest men that I'd ever been exposed to or come to know. So I was honored to start my career with him.
Okay.
I did not, I think I may have worked with Mr. Stimley a little less than 2 years.
Okay, you got a lot in 2 years. You was paying attention.
I did. I was.
You was sitting in the front of the class.
I was.
You was sitting in the front row.
And he had a lot of faith and trust in me. He let me try some cases. He was representing the company that my father was the president of, and that was Southland Management Corporation at the time. And we dealt with a lot of premises liability, where people living in the apartment complexes, if they had injuries or were injured on the premises, then they would sue, of course, the managers and owners of the apartments. And so I tried cases early on, even tenant disputes. So he gave me, a lot of autonomy. And And then I was able to try to strike out on my own a little bit in 1990.
How many years? After 2 years?
A little better than one. Yeah.
You're a trailblazer.
Well, that was not my choice. Circumstances just kind of led to that.
We want people to understand that sometimes your guided purpose may not be on your time schedule.
That's exactly right.
Please proceed.
Well, I was 2 years into the practice. I knew nothing about, running an office or anything, although my undergraduate degree from Millsaps College was business administration. Now, over these years, it has come in existence and very much appreciated because I have managed every law office that I have been the sole proprietor of.
Okay.
Even when I was the managing attorney for 3 years for Victor McTeer when he opened his office here in Jackson. Okay. I served in that capacity from 1994 to 1997 or something, that time frame. So I've had excellent opportunities with the men for whom I practice, Mr. Stimley being first, Victor McTeer being second, and then, I've missed Mr. Isaac Bird, who was a 100% plaintiff's practitioner.
Okay.
And
what do you mean a plaintiff's practitioner?
Every case that came into Bird and Associates, someone had been injured, so they had suffered either a personal injury or they had lost someone in a wrongful death claim due to the negligence of a manufacturer or someone on premises.
Morgan and Morgan,
and
all these guys.
The Maverick. The Maverick.
And when you say the Maverick, that means?
That is how Mr. Bird marketed himself, that he was Maverick. He knew how to go get it. But he, too, allowed me to have a great deal of autonomy. He didn't, we had cases out of the wazoo.
Okay.
And he would just say, all you need to do is ask who, what, when, where, why, and how. He'd give me a yellow notepad.
The
and
infamous
he's like,
yellow
go with
notepad.
that. Just go with that. Who, what, when. You ask that for hours until you get every fact that you need to support your claim for these damages.
Wow.
That made me the litigator that I am today.
So you've had some great shepherds.
Oh, most
some great
definitely.
stewards.
I have.
Some great pillars and posts.
Yes.
And you have played your role being in these spaces with these individuals.
I have indeed. And the Chancery practice, which I have enjoyed the most, because I even, over the course of my career, I even had a criminal practice. But I did that because of the communities that I served. I've always served in underserved, impoverished communities.
Let them know what that office is. Let them. These people, they're not going to believe it. When I came over, I think because you were supporting something we were doing at the clinic, and when I came over, I'm like, damn, this where you are?
Well, no, that is that would probably be the highest of it. So I have to share that the
office that I came to?
Well, let me tell you.
Okay, go right ahead. Teach me. Teach me.
I was so determined after leaving Vic McTeer's office. I just wanted to be on Ferris Street.
Okay. No. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, go right ahead.
James Abram, Mr. Eddie Tucker, and of course, Judge Anderson and Judge Rubin had, Judge Anderson and Judge Banks, had begun their careers there. I wanted to be on Ferris Street. There was no lawyer on Ferris Street in 1999. And that's where I wanted to be.
Okay.
And so I sought out Dr. Albert Britton because Dr. Britton had space.
Okay.
And he said, well, yeah, he was kind of surprised that I wanted to be down there. But he had, space right there in his building. I was next to Romeo, the hairdresser.
Okay. I think I remember Romeo. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so I had some friends to come in and redesign the space, making it look less medical and more legal.
Mm-hmm.
And I practiced there for 4 years.
Okay.
But the building was old.
Okay.
And the weather, it was weather worn and torn, and it just was not serving our purpose when all of our property and the furniture was being flooded.
Okay.
But over the course of that time, I had served some members of my church that I grew up in, Holy Ghost Catholic Church in Jackson.
Okay.
And there was just this beautiful lady, Wilhelmina Younger. She'd come to me needing some services for her mom. I think a guardianship that she needed for her mother who had gotten ill. Oh, conservatorship at that time, I'm sorry. And I fell in love with Miss Younger. I fell in love with her home on East Davis Street. Even after her mother passed, our friendship remained.
Okay.
And I would just go visit because the house was just so lovely, so peaceful, so nicely decorated and designed. Just a very solid old home. Reminded me of the homes in which I grew and played in Greenville.
Okay.
And when Mrs. Younger died in 1992, and we were having our issues with excuse me, I'm getting my dates wrong. This would be 2002. I was having my issues with the building in which I was that was owned by Dr. Britton. And her son, who I had come to know over those years, he said, "Rhonda, would you like my mother's house?"
Okay.
And of course I said yes.
Okay.
And so that was our out. We were able to move from Fair Street, Dr. Britton's building, to the house on East Davis Street that my friends came in again and made it a law office for me.
Okay.
And every place I practice has been transformed.
Man, you've been living right for a long time, Rhonda. I just called you Rhonda. Rhonda, you've been living right for a long time.
But I think it's the Chancery practice that has enabled me, the work of the Chancery Court.
Right.
I met Mrs. Younger because she needed a conservatorship for her mom. And prior to that, when I left Mr. Stimley's office, and it's just also been timing, but it's God's timing because he knows.
Right.
You know,
You've been preparing since I met you.
Well, I'm trying
serious.
to strike out on my own. And I was, my parents were like, "Oh, you should just open up your office." But they were just supportive and naive. They didn't know. But God knew, because in 1990, and I know I'm jumping all over the place.
Please.
But the timing has just been critical to this, because in 1990, there were two places open on the Chancery bench in Hinds County. And Judge Denise Sweet Owens and Judge Patricia Wise went to the bench in 1990. They both left their practices. Of course, Judge Owens had been practicing with her husband, Bob.
You know the history, too, don't you?
Judge Wise had been practicing with Hal Dawkins. Okay. So when they went to the bench, I get a call from Bob.
Okay.
I get a call from Hal. And each of them offered me a job, but I had just left Mr. Stimley, so I was like, I think I want to kind of try this solo practice. And so they gave me the opportunity to take over each of those practices. So the clients that Judge Owens had, the clients that Judge Wise had, became my clients. And then they were the chancellors before whom I appeared.
Wow.
And so I've been on the Chancery trajectory sincerely since 1990.
38.
And that's the work that I've done. And even doing that on Fair Street, doing it when I got to East Davis Street.
Okay.
And I remained in that space until 2016.
Okay.
I was in that space, but back to the Chancery practice. So things were changing, certainly, with the neighborhoods and all. I had even taken some time out of my practice to go and teach the students at Jackson State and prepare them for law school.
Now you're touching the babies.
Yeah. I mean, and that was just so gratifying, because when they said, "Ms. Cooper, I want to go to law school," and if they had, just writing skills with which I could work, or oratory skills that we could elevate, then yes, you're going. And then I had to instruct them on discipline and etiquette. We traveled a lot. If you're going to be a professional, this is what you have to do. So we traveled extensively. Dr. Carolyn Miles was the president at Jackson State at the time. She bought right in. She was vested. Her thing was, I'd like to see as many Jackson State students in law schools across the country.
Right.
And she says, well, you have to do research as a professor. But I was able to get grants so that we could travel with the students. I redesigned the entire program because the students were treating the LSAT like the ACT.
Right.
I'm going to just keep taking it till I get a better score. And I'm like, well, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to set aside some time every day where these are the things that you're going to do. And I had to redesign the pre-law courses to make them more writing and reading intensive.
So you had the work experience going into the instructor.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference when you have bridged the gap between an educator who has never left the campus and an educator that comes from the workforce onto the campus.
And they call that position a clinical position because you have the real world or the work experience.
It's needed.
And it made a difference with the students because I was able to bring my friends and colleagues from the profession in, and they never hesitated to come in. And we had lecture series. I would tap into the graduates of JSU, come back, and they were all willing to do it. And we did that. I started that position in 2009, and I remained in it until 2017.
Okay.
I jokingly said that's the first real long job that I had.
Right.
But then I had gotten the opportunity back to the Chancery practice. I had met, or actually gone to a funeral of one of my students that had been shot and killed. And his mother just fell in love with me, and she wanted me at the funeral. And the funeral was held at Jackson Memorial. Now, I was familiar with Jackson Memorial going back to Holy Ghost because it was owned when I was growing up in Bel Air. It was owned by Mr. Eddie Tucker and Mr. Jones. So I knew of Jackson Memorial. And so when I go to the funeral, I'm looking for Mr. Damian Muriel. And I'd never met Mr. Muriel.
Okay.
And I thought one of his, funeral directors was he, but that was just because I had not met him. But was just so impressed with everything that I saw. And as I was, transitioning from the university, I knew that Mr. Muriel had built this funeral home right next door to the funeral home that I had grown up knowing about and the funeral at which I had attended.
Okay.
So I just reach out to him and I just say, Mr. Muriel, over the course of my career, I've done estate planning, estate administration, and I understand, of course, you're serving families in need. If any of your clients are in need of services along the lines of estate planning or administration, please consider me. Didn't hear from him for several months. Now, I'm still at Jackson State, but I just wanted to make that introduction.
Right. And you did it so tactfully.
Well, it's just a letter.
We call it networking.
Yeah, just reaching out. And I get a call one evening, and he tells me he's got some work for me. He'd like to meet me. And he wanted to meet me in the space that had been the old funeral home.
Okay.
Where I had attended the funeral.
Okay.
And so I go over there and we talk and, we have meetings. And he said, I would like for you to occupy this space. Move your practice here. You can be in service to me and you can continue to serve the community.
Right.
So now I start, I'm on Fair Street proper. Then the Fair Street Historic District on East Davis, where we named the office Midtown. Because that's
Midtown Community. Okay.
And now I'm in Georgetown.
Okay.
And so we were like, Midtown is moving to Georgetown.
Wow.
And so that's where I've been since 2016.
So what I've gotten so far out of this journey and adventure, do right, stay calm, cool, and collective, master what's in front of you, treat people say treat people like you want to be treated. Treat you like you know you have to be treated. And you have really connected the dots in your journey. I'm sitting here listening and people saw the value. They connected you over here. They put you over there. Wow.
Well, I have to attribute that, I think, to my grandmothers. I just saw them. They did a lot for the people in Greenville. I had one grandmother, they term it the North Side.
Okay.
And that was my mother's mother. My father's mother, they call that the South Side.
So both parents are from the Delta?
Both of my parents are from Greenville.
From Greenville, Mississippi.
From
Greenville,
Mississippi.
Okay.
That's where it all started.
Right.
For all of my cousins across the country, because that's where it started. And my parents just celebrated 60 years of marriage in December. So now they're at 60 and a half.
Wow.
And over the years, and my mother, she enjoys celebrating her anniversary. And so one year I asked my dad, and I said, well, what would you say as to why you all have stayed married, or stayed together so long? And he said, we just wanted to please our mothers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Kept it to the point.
That
Kept it to the program.
because my grandmother's, and I only have the
Wanted
one
to please
now.
our mothers.
My father's mother is still with us, and she will be 98 in October.
Hold on. 98? Her eyeballs have seen some sights.
Yes. And the grandmother that I said brought me home that Meet Martin Luther King book, we lost her in 99. But they were just, they loved people.
Okay.
They loved their families. They loved their church members. They loved their community members. And although they worked in a domestic capacity, they were very much respected by the people for whom they worked and cared.
Give me a vision of domestic. What kind of domestic?
Oh, they served in the homes. Well, let me just say my grandmother, Dorothy Jackson, my mother's mother, was the housekeeper, caregiver for the Irish priest in Greenville who served at St. Joseph's Catholic Church.
Okay.
My grandmother, Rosie Brown, served the Marvin Meadows family, and Mr. Meadows owned the Chevrolet dealership in Greenville. And each of them served in those capacities for 40 years.
Wow.
So work ethic is all my family has known. So you got to get up and go somewhere every day and make it happen, not only for yourself, but for others. And so the care and compassion that I saw my grandmothers extend not only to their families, but the families for whom they cared, and the community members and church members, and the little old ladies that I just hung out with and loved because they were my grandmother's friends or my grandmother's sisters, or, you know, I just grew up with a lot of little old ladies. I even had my great-grandmother for some years. So serving seniors, I think, is just in my blood.
Okay.
And I mean, and seniors need things.
Yeah, they put in the work. They put in the time.
They put in the work.
So they need to be cared and
they
loved on.
They do need to be cared and loved on, and whatever
they paid the dues.
They have paid the dues, and when they have worked and they have amassed property and wealth, even a modicum of wealth, when they pass, you know, that responsibility has to be assumed as to how this property is going to be distributed.
Right.
And, you know, I have colleagues who take on estate work, but it's intricate. I've even had judges to say, Rhonda, you really like this, you know, because somebody can pass and end up with 40 heirs. I just resolved a matter where we had 64 heirs. And
wait, 64 heirs, that's 64 people?
It's 64 people. 64
You're being
people.
Professional heirs. That's 64 living, breathing humans.
That will get
Okay, we're back online. The question that I had to ask, and we'll revisit it. How have you maintained, I'm going to go to the streets. How have you maintained not getting the big head from all of these different connections of people who have been successful in their journeys and adventures? Go right ahead.
Well, I have to go back to my grandmothers. They worked hard, and although they were domestic workers, they owned their homes. They dressed well. They were actively engaged in their churches with their friends. They traveled. My parents, who've done extremely well, they're not pretentious people, and I just didn't see the big head. It was just you work, you put your time in, you enjoy your family, you enjoy your friends. And, of course, you got to serve God because he's responsible for all of it.
Right. And the word pretentious, my vocabulary, it sounds like some Billy Avalon stuff.
I know, right?
What's the definition for pretentious?
Well, people who are, I guess we could commonly say putting on airs or elevating themselves to heights other than what they really are. And I didn't witness that growing up.
Okay.
You enjoyed, as my dad would say, the fruits of your labor.
Right.
But you certainly don't live above your means. And I've just been, I think, just blessed because of my love for people and certainly seniors. But then my heart went out to the young kids who were getting in trouble because they just had no direction.
Right.
Or, they saw their uncles engaging in criminal activity, so they thought that was the way.
Right.
And that's how I fell into the my criminal practice. But there was some reward in helping, but I just didn't enjoy. I mean, that's a whole system in and of itself.
Right.
And so the prosecutors used to tease me and say, "Rhonda, you don't want anybody to be a convicted felon." And I'm like, no, because if they're a convicted felon, then they're out the game.
Right.
So if we can resolve this pre-indictment, if he knows he's guilty and he's got to do some time, then let's do that.
You got a lot of experience.
I've just been able, it's just the
A lot of
heart for the
touches.
people.
Yeah, a lot of touches.
Because people have come, and it's the trust that they have placed in me.
So being in a judge position, man, you about to really love on folks. You about to water them and pour on them. They're going to get splashed. Let me do this. Let me connect with this little, and Felice, thank you. Felice is connecting with us out of California. She just told me your sound went off. We're missing about 2 or 3 people, and we're missing a sound person. We're missing the editing. But anyway, we're going to make it do what it do.
Okay.
We're going to make it do what it do. So what I'm going to do is let me connect this, because at the end of this, I went back and just a little revision on what I sent you. Okay. And then we'll pick up right there and let you just pour into us about this Chancery Court on the political end of it. So I really wanted you all to hear the superheroes' personal travels, the personal. We didn't even get into. So let me ask, what has been the most challenging component of your journey and your adventure in your professional life?
Being a sole practitioner.
Okay.
I chose that after leaving Mr. McTeer's office, because at that time my daughter was 3.
Wow.
And I was the managing attorney. So when the attorneys or staffers came and said, "Ms. Cooper, I've got to go and take care of my kid," I'm like, sure. But as the managing attorney,
that fell on who?
I didn't have that luxury, right? And so, after talking with my dad and, being aware of the cases that I could handle as a sole practitioner, I just stepped out on faith. That was 1997. And I've not looked back, because my daughter was only growing. Mm-hmm. And I really, really wanted to be a part of each and every aspect of that. But of course, being a sole practitioner, all the responsibility falls on you, all the administrative duties. So not only you providing a service, but you're running a business, and the business has to be profitable.
It's got to make something.
But God has been good. I was able to take care of my daughter. We've been blessed with some wonderful cases.
Right.
And Bob Owens would say, now, if you've got a big case, then you've got to show something for it. And so the largest case that I've had in my career was out of Shelby County, Tennessee.
Okay.
And I litigated that case for 3 years, from 2004 to 2007. And at that time, my daughter was in middle school.
Okay.
And we had outgrown our home in Ridgeland. And through the grace of God and the blessings from that case, I was able to purchase us a home.
Okay.
And so that was 19 years ago.
Okay.
And now I have an almost 13-month-old grandson.
Wow.
So
Hold
I
on.
can't wait for him.
Yeah. That's an accomplishment.
So I can't wait for him to be in the grass that his mom used to play in.
All right, guys, let's do this right quickly. Because at the end of this, we're going to pick up right there. Hold on.
Okay.
Where are we? You good?
Yeah.
You comfortable?
I am.
Okay, that's not stunt candy over. That's real chocolate. So if you need one or two of them. All right. And we may go over just a little bit, guys, because we really want you to be poured and watered with this opportunity for you all to select, to vote, to bubble. I call it bubbling in. You know, we tend to voice our opinions about who's doing what they did or who got in, but that person didn't vote. They only got one bubble. Mm-hmm. It takes many bubbles in the selection process. So hold on just a moment. All right, where we at? What I'm gonna do, guys, is I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and okay. Let me do this right here.
Unity, love, and peace.
Then we're gonna go straight to the video.
Hey, everybody. Hey, we got something to say. Listen. Hey, we got something to say. Hey.
Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna part, and this is a 54-second video.
Hey, we got something to say. Hey, we got
You know what you said? My people know what they said. You remember this video right here? Okay, here we go.
I am Rhonda Cooper, candidate for Chancery Judge. The Chancery Court oversees very important cases, such as family matters, land disputes, wills and estates, guardianships and conservatorships, the annexation of public land, and much more. Because of this, experience from the bench is critical. With 38 years of service, I have the expertise to responsibly handle these cases and to competently assist in their resolution with preparation, familiarity, and sound judgment. You all deserve a responsible, competent, and compassionate judge. I am Rhonda Cooper, and thank you for your support and vote on November 3rd. That's awesome.
You said a lot in 50-some seconds.
Yeah.
You said a lot. You want to give us a recap? Because you've been speaking it ever since you sat on the couch. Give us a recap of that conversation.
Well, one of the things I would like the audience to know is the thing that has driven me to aspire to the bench is that what has been consistent in my representation of my clients has been time and resources. So as I've shared, these cases, now these are real people. I used to have a billboard that said real people, real lawyer for real people with real problems. These are real people having to take off time from work. Not all live in the county in which the matter is pending.
Right.
So some people are having to cross state lines and county lines. So that's time.
It is.
Court is either at 9 or at 1:30. And so they come to court, and what I'm seeing or have seen here lately is that the matters are not getting resolved. And so when the lawyer says to the client, this is how much you owe me, or this is what, my fees are going to be, typically that's based on the amount of time that the lawyer thinks he or she is going to expend.
Gotcha.
But what we're finding is these cases are dragging on. We're having to go to court 2, 3, 4, 5 times, or you think something's going to resolve in a matter of months. It's now turning into years. It has even been, in some instances, decades. And so that's personally and economically, that's not sustainable.
It's not.
I mean, why should somebody have to keep coming back to court time after time after time for the other parent to pay the funds that he or she was ordered to pay 10 years ago?
Wow.
And you've never paid anything. And now we're asking the court to hold you in contempt. The chancellor can also incarcerate you. But then, well, we'll just get another date. We'll just get another date. Or these, adult children, your parents have died.
Right.
They've left you tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, why haven't you gotten your money? Why is this matter not being resolved? There are lawyers involved. So I have been an advocate for my clients.
Powerful.
And what I am wanting to transition now is to what the judges before whom I appeared as a young lawyer in the late 80s, in the 90s, those judges were active in getting the cases resolved.
Right. They were engaged.
If you go to Judge Courtwright in Yazoo County at 9 and he didn't like the order, even if you had the hearing,
right?
And now, we presented an order and he's like, no, and we didn't have computers now back then. We just had the typewriters. And so you got to type it all over, whatever it was that was going to get the signature. But if you left at 4 o'clock, you were done with that. Those family members could go on with their lives.
Wow.
They weren't having to come back. And we can't arrest people's development like that. I can't, as a chancellor, hold your money
Talk to me.
in the bank account that you need.
Right.
People have expenses.
Not tomorrow, but yesterday.
Been needed.
Yes.
Or you're borrowing it against it. I mean, that's just, so there's I think because...
Look at that passion coming out.
Well, I know what's at stake.
Right.
I know when I leave the courthouse with my clients and their head is held down and my heart is heavy because I'm trying to figure out why it didn't get resolved. And we've put forth everything that we knew to put forth to get the relief that we've requested. Now, I am no politician by any stretch of the imagination.
You don't come across as one.
No.
But you do know right from wrong.
I know, and that's all. That's all I need to know.
You do stand on right from wrong.
I just want to continue the service, but we want to do it from a different lens.
Okay.
We prayerfully made a difference. We would like to continue in making the difference. It's still going to be driven by the facts and the law. The facts are what changes and the laws are what they are, as, rendered by the Mississippi Supreme Court, the Court of Appeals, or enacted by the legislators. So we have the law as our guide, but it's the facts that are typically determinative and dispositive. And we've just got to have the responsibility. We have to assume the role and know what is at stake. And I am obliged, as I sit on this bench, of resolving this case and being responsible, owning up, being accountable for the decision that I make. I've had, I've spent years with these families, and I call them my families. When I walk into my conference room, I'm like, "Good morning, family."
Right.
They have shown me that they appreciate not only my professionalism, but my being personable with them.
Gotcha.
So on the bench, we're going to maintain the integrity of the judicial process, but we can also, by maintaining the professionalism, we can show some humanity. It doesn't have to be the disconnect, because as I shared with you when I sat down, we're all in this together. I mean, we have to be community stakeholders. We can't jump in. I come into the courthouse, I put my robe on, take the bench, I render some decision, and I leave and go back into wherever or from wherever I came.
Right.
No, it's going to be lasting. It's going to be lasting. The relationships that I've cultivated and maintained with my clients. I have people calling, and I'm getting a little older now, so I don't always remember the person that I might have served on East Davis Street, but they remember. My students are still emailing me saying, "Ms. Cooper, I've just passed the bar. It took me a long time, but just wanted you to know."
Still connected.
And they're now saying, "Ms. Cooper, we're going to help you with the campaign." And that election day is Tuesday, November 3rd. And it's coming really, really quickly.
It is.
Yeah.
We've got, we had some bullets. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 bullets. Give me about 3 to 4 minutes. When you speak about we got communities of Madison and Leake counties.
Yes.
We've got the Voting Rights Act. We got the U.S. Supreme Court decisions, pre-clearance and redistricting, and then voting 2026. And we may have to get you back in here if your schedule permits, because, I mean, you're covering so much and you're loving on us so much. You just can't. When you get the love, you got to get it. All right, so let's step into the communities of Madison and Leake counties. What would you like to share with us so that we can visualize the canvas on what we're going to paint?
Okay.
Go right ahead.
I've been living in Madison County since 1989. I was in leadership in the inaugural class of Leadership Madison County, which was 1990. And so I was able to, as a new resident of Madison County, learn a good bit about the county. Now, of course, things have changed in the years since, but I've actually spent more time as a resident of Madison County than I did growing up in Jackson. But I have served families in Madison County.
Okay.
And in Leake County, I've served families in the Chancery Court. So given that I am a resident of South Madison County, it is Subdistrict 2, that's my seat. And because of the way the district is established with the 3 seats now, I will serve those 2 communities.
Okay.
And the support and love that I have gotten from the people in the 2 counties, my mother and I are charter members of the Madison County chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Okay.
And we did that in 2008. And then my church, St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church in Madison, where I serve in the hospitality ministry. So I am a Madison County resident, not just living there, having moved, because it was fashionable. We have been there since 1989.
You're an active active participant of community.
Of community.
Community.
Yes.
Unity.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Voting. Go right ahead.
No.
Okay.
I just have to give a shout out to the people in Leake County.
Okay, give a shout out to them. Give a shout out to them.
Shout out to the people in Leake County.
Using out there. Give a shout out to them.
Yeah.
Give a shout out to them. That's my people from Nairobi, Kenya. Had them flown in. Okay.
Well, they're just uniquely sophisticated. I like the way they move. I like the way they care for one another. Of course, it's not as large as Madison County and not as diverse demographically, but you just know, now that I'm visiting and touching and feeling, I just feel the love and the support that they have one for the other. It's just genuine. So I have to just thank them for all that they've shown me thus far.
I've chased cars when I say chase for the airbag recall, and I really enjoyed Carthage.
Yes.
Even my brown brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a language barrier, but Google, I have to make sure when I'm Google translating.
You're getting it right.
Yeah, I had to say, oh, no, I didn't say this. But people have been really receptive and available.
Yes.
That means a lot. That means a lot. All right, Voting Rights Act. What would you like for us to know about the Voting Rights Act?
What I found about myself, although I have this degree in business administration from Millsaps College, as I taught the students at Jackson State University, I realized I was a historian. And I was loving the learning as I was teaching. And so we spent a good bit of time in the constitutional law class, the judicial process, talking about the Voting Rights Act. So this country is preparing to celebrate 250 years. But when you think about the Voting Rights Act, it's 61 years old?
Okay.
All right.
For who? For us?
Well, for us.
Okay.
And so, now 61 years later, it's about to be, or there's this movement underfoot to eradicate it, with the redistricting, with this, voter suppression, all these things that will keep us continuously on this fight. Because as I used to share with my students, voting is the great equalizer. And so without that right, that takes us back to some really dark days and some dark times. And what I want to impress upon the community, no, this is not a presidential year where everybody's all excited about the next presidential candidate or who's going to serve from the Oval. We have to be concerned about the local elections. Because that's where we are.
That's where we are.
The family is the first institution, and the Chancery Court handles all matters regarding the family. So that election, those races are important.
So family is encompassed, it's rolled up into the Chancery Court.
It's rolled up into the. It's really inseparable.
They joined at the hip.
They're joined at the hip.
Okay,
And
guys,
so
listen now. Listen,
well,
she's
we
dropping jewels.
We have to vote. We have to stop thinking, oh, my vote doesn't matter, or they going to elect who they want to elect. If there's purging,
right.
if these counties are actively removing people from the roll, then your duty and your responsibility is to go tomorrow,
right,
next week, and find what your voting status is.
Right.
Are you still eligible to vote? Ask them to show you your name and address when you first began to vote and when you last voted. You want to see that in black and white.
And Attorney Cooper, where is it that we're supposed to go?
That's going to be at the circuit clerk's office in each of the counties in which you live.
Circuit
clerk
office. You need to do that yesterday.
Every day.
Okay.
Because
that's a good point.
Well, you need to know.
Okay.
Because if your name is not on that voter roll, then you want time to re-register. And if your name isn't, and these are the things I would tell my clients.
Right.
You want to know why your name isn't on there.
Right.
If you just voted March 10th,
right,
in the senatorial race,
great checklist.
Your name needs to be on there. And if it's not, find out why, and then re-register.
Okay. Don't get disappointed. Don't put up a wall.
No.
Take action to correct the misaction.
No need to be upset.
Okay.
Just take care of your business. And I'm stressing it's not just because I'm running, but because if we don't vote now, then that's going to show a lack of engagement, a lack of civic participation that may further these efforts to keep us from voting futuristically. The pre-clearance, that was, under the Obama administration when Eric Holder was the U.S. Attorney General.
Teammate, classmate, excuse me. You are so deep.
Well, but, it's just because we've got to continue the fight.
Right.
Fannie Lou Hamer is gone. Medgar Evers is gone. Martin Luther King is gone. Who's going to take up the mantle now?
The next one's up, yeah.
And we cannot lose the right to vote. This redistricting, we know what that's about. But if you're still exercising your right, it's going to matter.
Talk to me.
If you're not, the census, that comes up in 2030, and I don't even know what that's going to look like 4 years from now with technology and AI. But we do have to be about our business, and our business is voting.
Wow.
It's critical.
Take action.
I cannot stress it.
Be in an action position.
You just got to do it.
You got to do it.
And now is the time.
It's mandatory.
We can't sit back. I've participated in voter registration drives, and I really just want to poke people in the eye when they say, well, they're going to elect who they want to elect. But you vote for whom you want to vote.
Wait, say it again now.
You vote for whom you want to vote. And that's what matters, because then when you're sitting and watching the results, you can at least say, I participated.
And I want to say, vote RHONDA C. Cooper for Chancery Judge, District 11, Subdistrict 2, Madison County, Leake County. All right.
Tuesday, November 3rd.
Ooh, Tuesday, November the 3rd. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we got the U.S. Supreme Court decisions, pre-clearance, and redistricting. Did you just cover that?
I was just touching upon that.
The beautiful thing about this circulates for about 30 days, guys.
Okay.
We've got 5,000 people in the group. Be sure to share it with someone that's in these particular counties. Not only that, we get about 10 to 100,000 touches from 7 to our 30 days. So please be informed, be educated. Attorney Cooper has given us some nuggets, but you can't get it all in one sitting. You can't get all this medicine in one sitting. You got to get some in each sitting. All right, next up, voting 2026. Give me some. Give me some. Give me some, classmate.
It's on us. On my website.
Give us the website.
www.rcc. Those are my initials.
Real simple. Real easy.
And we're using the number 4.
4.
Judge.
Hit it one more time.
RCC, the number 4, judge.com.
In my Umar Johnson voice, one more time.
And so if you go to the website, rcc4judge.com, you will see the number of days that are remaining before the election on Tuesday, November 3rd. And we just have to be there. We have to be at the polls, and we have to be present. We have to be accounted for. And the only way we can be accounted for is if we cast that vote. And I don't think I can stress it enough, because this redistricting is coming about in the middle of an election cycle.
Right.
We've already cast a vote in March.
Right.
And so now you're coming saying we want to redistrict what has already been done. So if that's the case, guys, the only way we can meet whatever this underfooting
This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's some other stuff coming.
We got to just show our strength.
Right.
And I think we have to pay homage to those who went before us, those who knew how important it was. I mean, those 3 young men, well, we can just, Mr. Evers,
right.
You know, Mississippi College School of Law.
Unnamed people that are unnamed and unfaced. Yeah.
That we will never know.
We'll never know.
But we want to give a shout out to Mississippi College School of Law for awarding Medgar Evers his law degree posthumously. And that was a big deal. It was very moving, it was very touching, and it was certainly timely.
Right.
Because he gave his life solely because he was trying to just incorporate people into this, what we call a democracy, and have them fully participatory in the voting process. If you don't think about anybody else when you go to vote,
right,
think about Medgar Evers.
Okay.
Think about Fannie Lou Hamer. Think about William Winters. Think about Robert Clark Jr.
Powerful.
These are the people who have fought for Mississippians to have that right, and we can't lose it. Not now.
Not now.
Not with.
Because we're in a war.
Yeah. So
we're in a
let's exercise that right if we don't do anything else.
We've got right here in not closing, but in completing this particular conversation, why RHONDA Cooper? And there's 3 pillars. Before we go there, because we're going to finish strong. You've been strong the whole while. You've been here ever since you walked in the building. People want to volunteer for your movement, for this movement, for this opportunity to be a Chancery judge. How can they participate in volunteering to show strength to push you through the finish line?
Please visit the website. It's very simple, and there's a big button that says volunteer, and it will lead
not a little button,
big button, volunteer, and there will be opportunities. And then my volunteer coordinator is Gwendolyn Williams, and we've had young people, newly registered, young adults coming on and being very definitive about how they want to participate and be active in this campaign.
They're the next ones up.
And all of that is just so endearing to me.
Okay.
I was talking to my campaign manager earlier, and he was just telling me conversations of support that he's had with colleagues that I've not seen in recent times.
Right.
But people with whom I've worked in the past. So I'm just thanking God, as I've always, for the opportunity to serve my clients. And now I'm just thanking God for the opportunity to just be a part of something that's seemingly, as I pray about it every day and night, that's bigger than me.
Right.
And we just want God to be satisfied.
Right.
That's all. I just want him to be satisfied.
Like your mom and dad, we just want mama to be satisfied. Mamas to be satisfied. We don't want to hear nothing they got to say.
Just be happy.
Got to have a guided purpose.
We just want God to get all the glory because he's brought us all this far.
We've got 3 pillars. The first one is responsible. Give us a little insight on responsible. One of 3 pillars.
Well, you know, if case comes before you now, you've got to know as the judge, just as the lawyers will say, this is my case, well, now it's the judge's case. And so assume the responsibility, be vested, but also be accountable for the decisions that you make because you know it's going to be impactful and you cannot back away from it. You make a bad decision and there's a bad result, you got to hold up for it.
And we don't want to rip and run folks out of their time. I love the way you emphasize that. No. All this back and forth. No,
people don't have time for that.
We're not going to do that.
They don't have the resources. They can't keep paying the lawyers. They can't keep getting off work. They need it resolved. If I'm going to have my baby, then I need to know that today.
Powerful. Next, we have competent. 38 years. Give me a reflection of 38 years in 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Well, these 38 years have been very fulfilling, been a little harrowing sometimes because, as I said, as the sole practitioner, I'm responsible for everything That includes, the Mississippi Bar, the Internal Revenue Service, all these big, dark entities to whom you have to answer and be responsible also. But I just appreciate being able every day to get up, knowing that there's somebody that I can serve, someone that I can help, and prayerfully I will be impactful in their lives and the decisions that they make, because we have to have the conversation so that they can then make the informed decision. Yes, Ms. Cooper, this is what I want to do, or I'd rather not do that now.
Wow. And last but not least, people say, man, it's hard. 8 o'clock at 7:30 in the morning, it's hard. Now, hard was making roll call. God put you on the roll call. What's hard? The hardest thing is to open your eyes in the morning.
Right.
So let's stop putting walls in front of the service that we're supposed to provide or providing throughout the course of the day. Just do it. He gave you another day. And you're not even guaranteed a whole day.
Now that's for
You're
real.
not guaranteed a whole day. You better show the Lord, hey, the roll caller that, hey, I'm here. I'm present. I'm working, Lord. I'm working.
I'm ready.
Last but not least, for some odd reason, I didn't control the volume of the presentation, but for some odd reason, compassionate, recognizes that the courtroom experiences can be frightening,
Oh, yes.
stressful, intimidating, anxiety-filled, and uncomfortable. If you can't relate to any other word, uncomfortable.
Yes.
And knows that the response from the bench should be to promote dignity, fairness, and integrity. In your words, tell me what you got.
It's the
Compassionate.
people's court. It's the people's court. And we have to treat them as though they are people in need of a service. And you have to show that you care. I've watched judges, the witnesses are testifying, they're on their phone like the children. So now you're going to try to render a decision and you haven't been paying attention. But I think one of the reasons, if success is the word I want to use to mark my practice, it's been solely because I care for the people that I'm serving.
Okay.
And I will continue to show that compassion because now I love the gospel singer, Dottie Peoples.
Okay.
And she says, we have to show compassion in order to be like the Lord.
Let me put this back over here. I have really enjoyed my short time with you. You are so filled with information, knowledge, and experience. And you wear the 38 years very well. Hold on, let me put the big picture up here. This lady ain't playing with y'all. And look like you got about another 30-some years in you to serve people. Hold on, let me get it up here.
No, now I got to hang out with my grandson.
You got to hang out with your
grandson.
grandson. Here we go right here. Let's put this up right here. Hit them again and close them out on this one right here. Hold on.
Hello, I am
Oh,
RHONDA
not that one.
Cooper,
Hold on.
candidate for Chancery Judge.
Let me come back over here. I'm going to play that at the end.
Cases, such as
Here we
family
go
matters.
right here. We've got vote Rhonda C. Cooper for Chancery Judge, responsible, competent, compassionate, 38 years of practicing law and loving on people and being considerate while maintaining your humility, keeping your ego. We call ego edging God out.
Okay.
Extensive experience before the Chancery Court.
Yes, those are the courts in which I've been probably in every Chancery Court. I'm not going to say everyone because they're just parts of the state, that I cannot travel to. But we've been in the majority of the counties.
The ones you can get to, look out.
Yes,
Look out. We're in the
been
building.
pretty far north, pretty far northeast, south, But, as time brings about a change, you just realize you just can't do all of that traveling. But I've been before the Chancery Courts, and I've enjoyed most of my chancellors. I really have.
Proven record of serving families and communities. Vote Rhonda C. Cooper. What's that over there? November. You say it in your voice. What's happening on November the 3rd? We passing out cheese.
Tuesday, November 3rd. Yes, that is our election day, and I will just be honored to serve you all or to continue to serve the citizens from the bench. We've done as much as we can do from the bar, and we'd like to change the lens and continue the service.
And the bench is that elevated seat in the room,
whereby you get to wear a robe.
Yeah, and I know everything that I've experienced. A lot of what you guys are coming into.
Yes,
with compassion.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Also, Cooper understands the law because she's lived it. Give me a little something on that.
Well, I was blessed to celebrate my 35th year of service with some very, very close friends. And the little tag was life in the law. And I've lived it. I mean, I have. You know, when people ask to share experiences, you know, I always have to reflect on a case or a client. And I have a full life outside of my practice.
I find it hard to believe with all this you got going on, but go ahead.
Has consumed a good bit. And so much so that my daughter is an attorney now. She's not practicing. She was started her career as a real estate attorney for, you know, the large 1,200 law firms, all that stuff in Alabama. And now she's in Texas. But since she's become a mother, she is in-house counsel for Visa. So that's a little better for the work-life balance. But I think she saw the importance of service and how well she could serve as an attorney. So I'm pleased with that. And so I'm pleased with what we've been able to accomplish on Fair Street, in the historic Fair Street district, and now in Georgetown.
And I want you guys to get up off the couch. I'm not going to say a bad word in front of Attorney Cooper, but she's been listening to me for years.
Use bad words.
Back end up off the couch. Go out and do your civic duty. Your ancestors are whispering in your spirit that it has to be done. Stop waiting for someone else to do for self. When you've got people that are stepping out beyond the crowd to show you that it can be done. Vote Rhonda C. Cooper for Chancery Judge, District 11, Subdistrict 2, Madison County, Leake County. And don't think that you don't know someone that lives in either Madison County or Leake County in District 11, Subdistrict 2. That's the beauty of Community Connections Conversations, is that we all affect one another, not only locally, throughout the nation, and also global.
Yes.
So we all know someone, or we're capable of knowing someone just through this social media vessel.
Exactly.
All right. So I want to thank our superhero, Attorney Rhonda C. Cooper. C stands for champion. We already claiming it.
And I want to thank you, Howard, for this opportunity.
You are so cool.
I have enjoyed this so much.
Have you?
Yes,
you have been so late. You made it easy. All I had to do was sit back. Sit back.
Well, I enjoyed it. I was looking forward to it.
Okay.
I really was.
Okay. All right. Well, we kept it where we needed to keep it. We kept it. All right. People have been informed. They've been engaged. They've been empowered. Hopefully, we've brought some awareness. You communicated very well.
Well, thank you.
So hopefully, you'll get some calls tomorrow for some opportunities. People should have the confidence up in Subdistrict. What is it? Subdistrict 11?
2?
District 11, Subdistrict 2.
Yes.
They've got more than a qualified person that's been in and out of these venues.
Yes.
You speak really well about people,
Thank you.
where they are in their time and their resources. I mean, people need what they need. Don't drag me through.
And when they need
And when they need it.
Yes.
You knew when I walked in here what the deal was. Why we going back and forth? All right. Hey, guys, you've had Miss Rhonda, Attorney Rhonda C. Cooper. Also on Sunday, we've got these ladies here coming through here. Hold on. They got a big event going on I think down in Fayette. Anyway, there's the flyer, guys. We'll have Miss Jada DeWitt Muhammad and Miss Khadijah Muhammad. This lady here. So I've been chasing Miss Khadijah for about 2-3 years. Yeah, I have. I finally got in here, hopefully. So they're having a Crowns and Commerce. And that's going to be July the 4th. Prayerfully, Community Strong will be there. They're going to be in Fayette, Mississippi.
Okay.
And the name of the business is Sisters Braid 2.
Okay.
Meaning they do a lot of different things. This lady here, Miss Khadijah, is an actual designer and a whole lot of other things. She's very powerful.
Are they sisters?
No, I don't think they're sisters.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're cohorts.
Okay.
And very powerful. So they'll be here Sunday at 10:30. So we look forward to being informed and engaged. And I just want to close out with Attorney Cooper, thanking her so much. You guys got more than a qualified person to go up there and make things shake, rattle, and roll.
Thank you, Howard.
And I want to thank you so much because we didn't even talk about nobody else. We just spoke on the things that we do, and that's loving on people. All right, guys, Community Connections Conversations. I'm going to run this little info, then we'll come back and do the announcements. I know Attorney Cooper has to get back to the house or back out of here. And I just want to thank you all so much for connecting.
Jack's a one. Unity, love, and peace. Get peace, love, community, hey, everybody. Hey, we got something to say. Listen. Hey, we got something to say. Hey. Reach one, teach one, community strong. Hey, we got something to say. Hey, we got something to say. Hey, better get off the couch. Reach one, teach one, community strong. Welcome to the show. We about to drop some knowledge. The Mr. Howard Sanders with the brother Coach Abadi. Superheroes, conversation about the real. They try to keep it clean, but let you express how you feel. Good spirits, good vibe, no hatred or no hate. We all in the same gang, gonna change a better day. The prophet of the truth, initials POT. No price tags on this knowledge, you can get it for the free. Reach one, teach one, the old and the young. We got it by the spirits with the power of the tongue. I'm on the inside looking out, they on the outside looking in. Keep it cordial, don't explore it. Call them family, call them friends. You pursue it, you can do it, show love, count your bliss. Life is hard, but it's fair, and it comes with some lessons. Mental power for an hour, with some knowledge come to college. Important people, different topics, not that daily garbage gossip. Hey, we got something to say. Listen. Hey, we got something to say. Listen. Hey, better get off the couch. Reach one, teach one, community strong. Hey, we got something to say. Hey, we got something to say. Hey, better get off the couch. Reach one, teach one, community strong.
Hello, I am RHONDA Cooper, candidate for Chancery Judge. The Chancery Court oversees very important cases, such as family matters, land disputes, wills and estates, guardianships and conservatorships, the annexation of public land, and much more. Because of this, experience from the bench is critical. With 38 years of service, I have the expertise to responsibly handle these cases and to competently assist in their resolution with preparation, familiarity, and sound judgment. You all deserve a responsible, competent, and compassionate judge. I am RHONDA Cooper, and thank you for your support and vote.
It's time to celebrate culture again, Jackson. It's the granddaddy of them all. It's the 10th annual Juneteenth on Farish Festival going down Saturday, June 20th in the historic Farish Street District. It's going to be vendors, food, and fun for the entire family, so come on down. Plus, we've got big performances by Mike Robb and the 601 Band, Tanya Boyd Cannon, Candy Janae, and a special appearance by Kamikaze. It's the 10th annual Juneteenth on Farish Festival, Saturday, June 20th, 5 p.m. Be there.